Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Story Time with Shari. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. I'm excited to be back with you. I know some of you that are new are probably like, why does this girl look so goofy and smile so much? And the truth is that in the midst of life and everything, I've always been able to find the joy in it. Does that mean we're in denial? Hail to the no. This morning, the song Brass Monkey. Do you guys remember the song Brass Monkey? Brass Monkey, that funky monkey. It's been going through my head a little bit, so I thought I would stick it in your head. Welcome to Storytime with Shari. I'm Shari Alyse. I am a best-selling author, motivational speaker, and something else. Oh yeah, self-love coach. Don't forget that. I invite you to go grab your favorite cup of something. Today we've traveled off to the Caribbean and we're enjoying a nice Mai Tai, which always translates to a 4-shot, hence the 4-shot soy latte. So grab your drink and we're gonna dive today into story time. Let me know if you're here. Give me a heart in the comments. And as always, I love to check in with you. So I would love to know on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 meaning you're totally chill, cool, not a problem in the world, and 10 being like this is really serious for you and you're having some challenges. Let us know so that the family, our community can support you in whatever way that you need. And I'd also love for you to share with me one of your favorite parts of the weekend. Let's lift each other and share good stuff going on. So you might notice that we're in a new set. The budget has gone up quite a bit. Unfortunately, the set design hasn't. We've still got a 5-year-old with markers. Actually, my fiance's taken over my office today, so I got put out in the living room, which is cool. It's nice for a little change. Hey guys, welcome, welcome. Someone say hello, someone give a heart, somebody do something so I know you're here. Today, we're going to continue reading from Love Yourself Happy. Pretty soon we'll start with one of my other favorite, you notice other favorite, this is my book. My other favorite is The Untethered Soul by Michael Singer. We'll get into that shortly. And then after today's read, I invite you to stick around because I'm going to share about ways to be able to stay centered and grounded and connected to your strength, because often what happens is in the midst of chaos or what seems like chaos, we can get carried away by that. So I'm going to give some tools and stuff for you. Hey Dana, hey Billy, hey Steven, good to see you guys. I love when my tribe is here. Hey Christine Tessier from Canada, nice to see you guys. I loving the hearts, loving the hearts. Hope you guys had a good weekend. So before we start our story time, I invite you to take a breath with me. I know that there's a lot going on, or maybe there's nothing going on and you're like, this is why I'm joining this crazy girl, because I've got nothing else to do but watch this girl make an ass out of herself. And so, but I want you to just take a breath, center yourself, be here right now with me. And as always, hey, thanks, Andres. Good vibes. Hey, Mark. As always, I invite you, whatever feels comfortable with you, you could just close your eyes. I like to put my hand on my heart and just thank yourself for being here in this moment. And the reason why we do that is because first, you could be anywhere right now. And I know that there's a lot of people right now that feel that maybe joy is too much, that how can you be denying what's going on, how, you know, everybody has their own form of coping mechanism around all of this. And as I always say, whichever way you choose to move through this is the right way. But the important thing is to show gratitude for you simply being here, for taking this time for you. So just say thank you, I love you, and I'm grateful that you're taking this time. And then open your eyes, and now let's dive into story time with Shari. Oh, Christine was showing, while I'm reading Christine's, I would love for you guys, we're reading from the different rest stops. So we've got rest stops 3 through 43. So if you could just throw out a number, last time this didn't work very well because I totally missed them all. For some reason, it wasn't showing up in my comments. So I'm gonna read what Christine did this weekend. You offered a free group healing session to your followers, did meditations and took care of you. Awesome, beautiful, amazing. And I'm gonna keep saying that. Any way that any of us can show up for one another is what we need. all of us have something to offer. And, I wrote about it this week and I'm like, I could be, redoing my website. I could be doing branding. And for whatever reason, story time is what has come out of this. So while I wait for someone to throw out a random number, I'm just going to read to you the back of the book, just the little paragraph, so you guys have an idea for those who have missed so far what we've covered. Love yourself happy. Let's face it, life can feel messy at times, filled with heartbreak, heartache, disappointments, and letdowns. Sorry, I always forget these. And for my regulars, you know what time it is. Smart girl time. Look at how intellectual she looks. All right, life can feel messy at times, filled with heartbreak, heartache, disappointment, and letdowns. It's also filled with makeups, breakthroughs, beautiful surprises, and joy. This book isn't about glossing over the hard moments or telling you to look on the bright side or some other glass half full sentiment. The journey is messy, the road is bumpy, and that's what this is about. An on the surface, not so pretty journey, but one filled with breathtakingly beautiful truths that will surprise and astonish you, and even in the most challenging of moments, will have you tilt your head back up to the sky, curl the corners of your mouth up, and say, thank you. Hey guys, welcome for those who are just stopping in. Hey Chris, at work, have fun. Thanks. Oh, you're telling me to have fun. Well, you have fun at work too. So for anybody 3 through 43, I'm like waiting. And last time when I went back to check the comments, there were, hey Robin, thanks for entertaining me with the smart girl comment. So I'm going to open up a random page and read from it because I can't seem to find anything. Anybody throwing out a number? All right, so this is Rest Stop 30 and it's called Life and Death. It was all so heavy. Everything was so life and death. The guy who didn't call me when he said he would. The nights I stayed up crying, wondering what was wrong with me. What did I do wrong? Why wasn't I good enough for him? If you ask me now who these guys were that had me doubting my worth, I wouldn't be able to give you a name. I can barely remember their faces. Yep, I was so dramatic. Now, I'm not diminishing what I went through. I'm just saying that maybe something you're going through right now might not matter in a few years. Perhaps you won't even be able to remember it. Maybe a lot of what you go through isn't meant to make you suffer, but rather to learn, experience, and grow. Maybe what you're going through is meant to help you figure out what you want and how you feel. What if you didn't have to be controlled by your emotions? What if I could have simply understood at the time that it was no reflection on me and that there was simply someone else out there for me and he would meet me at the right time? Maybe, just maybe, the deeper understanding of the bigger picture can assist you as you navigate through life. Maybe everything doesn't have to be so hard or so dramatic, but just experiences as we move through life. Easier said than done? Maybe, if you're not ready for it. But I can tell you this, as soon as I decided not to take everything so personally and to truly trust in what was happening, the unreturned phone calls suddenly became blessings, as I knew it was just one more person who was leading me closer to my person. Fuel up. On the road to self-love, remember that you and only you determine how important something is, and you and only you choose how you will feel about it. Life and death simply should be reserved for true life and death situations. Psst, go easy on yourself. Oh, Robin, you say 67. There is no 67. It's between 3 and 43, which is not the pages, but the number of rest stops that I've written about. Hey guys, thanks for those of you who are joining in. Hi Sujata, nice to see you. Hey guys, welcome to Storytime with Shari. Grab your favorite cup of something. I do this each day because I think that it's important that we take the opportunity to connect with ourselves, and I believe our greatest selves or our fullest selves, our higher selves, is really connected with our inner child. And story time for me was always this great time to be able to just feel uninhibited and free, and with all that's going on in the world. Being able to take this time out for you is a gift. So thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. Heather McCloskey back. Oh, I just got, hi. That seems like another lifetime ago. Hi, nice to see you. Hey, Kelly. Thanks, Curtis. All right, so I am not seeing anybody put a number in here. Hey, good morning, Bridget. So I'm just going to open up a random page again because I believe that's what we're supposed to read. Okay, did I read this to you guys before? No, not yet. Rest stop 22. Buck up, baby. The truth hurts, but you get used to it. The truth hurts. I used to hate when somebody would say that to me like they knew me or they knew what I was thinking. I mean, I hated it to the point where it would turn into arguments. The reality was I hated it because there was truth to it. It triggered me. It touched some pain point within me, and that made me bark back like a rabid dog. Okay, maybe more of an annoying Yorkie, but you get the point. When someone said something to me that resonated and that I wasn't ready to deal with, I got defensive. I made it about them, their insecurities, their issues, their doubts. Then I stomped away like a 5-year-old having had a temper tantrum. Then, without fail, like a sorrowful and regretful puppy, I returned letting them know that I had thought about it, and not only was I sorry, that maybe somewhere deep inside was a slight taste of truth. Now for me, the reason why I didn't want to face this truth isn't because I didn't want to be wrong in their eyes. It was because I didn't want to be wrong in my eyes. I didn't want to have to face yet another thing that I had to deal with. So I simply chose not to by denying it. I showed them. Here's the thing about truths. They can hurt, but you get used to it. You get used to the feeling that you aren't always right. For those of you who know me, they're like, yeah, Shari, sure. You get used to the feeling that you don't have to always be right. And even more so, you kind of like the feeling of learning new things about yourself. Now, let's not jump ahead of ourselves. It's not like I loved being told that certain things I said hurt others or certain actions I took had bothered someone. But I did love being able to fix it and to be able to see myself and others more clearly. And guess what? The more truths I allowed myself to hear, the more I stopped making decisions that were against my deep core truths. I took more actions that were aligned with my heart, and that began a ripple of having to hear less and less about these truths. You see how that works? Fuel up. On the road to self-love, the more you're willing to explore your inner world and become self-aware, the more you live a life that feels good. You become more secure in who you are and what you want. Then the life you lead reflects and aligns with your values and your ultimate goals. So yes, spit those truths at me, but please be gentle too. Psst, go easy on yourself. Hey guys, just checking in. Love you too. Sujata, 3 a.m. in New Zealand. Oh, stay safe. Glad to have you guys here. Welcome. Hey, Caesar. Hey, Jenny. Guys, we're reading from Love Yourself Happy. We're having a little story time. We're having a Mai Tai together. So whatever your cocktail of choice is, make sure that you go and grab it. This weekend, what did I do this weekend? Well, I asked John if he wanted to play dress up with my wigs and makeup and got no response to that. I thought maybe since I've been wanting him to talk about our feelings all the time, that maybe this dress up would be, you know, an invited invitation, but that didn't seem to work either. I have a feeling that if I leave the house for any reason, I might get locked out of the house with all of these ideas. I'm like, let's take a dance lesson. Let's do puzzles. Let's talk about our relationship. Let's make a Facebook show. This guy, if you guys know John, this is not who he is. But I swear by the end of this, you wait and see. He's not only going to be doing a Facebook show with me and we're going to be dancing on camera, but he's going to be in one of my wigs. He's in the other room. He's probably like, yeah, no. All right, I'm going to read one more, and then we're going to chat a little bit about how to stay grounded and connected in your strength. Because again, like I said earlier, it's super easy to get carried away with the fears and all of your emotions that are being stirred up right now, which of course we'll talk about. None of them are wrong, like I always say. All right, random. Life and death. Okay, we just read that. Why is that being called for today? Buck up, baby, the truth hurts. Okay. By the way, this is available for 99 cents on Amazon, the Kindle version. If you guys want to support a local author, by local author I mean me, grab your copy. And then also, of course, it also supports you. Okay, so we're reading from Rest Stop 19, which is, stop waiting for others to make you feel good. I remember, hey Kelly, I remember scrolling through what seems like an endless feed of people telling me how wonderful I was, how inspiring I was, how beautiful, amazing, how much of a light, a savior even. I read every single word and I didn't feel anything, not one emotion. I didn't even feel indifference. I only felt numbness. I kept scrolling and words just kept coming at me and nothing. My entire life, sorry, I just got emotional because of this line. My entire life I have searched for self-worth in what others thought about me and said about me. And here these thoughts and words were literally right in my face and nothing. The truth is that there wasn't a compliment alive that would have changed this feeling or lack of feeling inside me. There wasn't a person in the world that could try to convince me. It finally hit me as I was staring at these words from others. Shari, you don't feel this way about yourself. Oh shit, that hit me like a ton of bricks. I could barely breathe as I took in what that meant. I mean, here I had been my entire life seeking approval and love, and here it was right in my face, and it meant absolutely nothing. I didn't know what to do or think. I didn't know where to begin or what was wrong with me. I mean, why don't I feel anything? Am I numb to life? Has my heart gone cold? I remember putting my phone away and just staring for hours at my bedroom ceiling. And then in the midst of my panic over whether I had turned into a robot, I noticed that a part of me actually felt relieved. I mean, if I didn't care about what others thought, then I could somehow be let off the hook of trying to do everything for everyone and finally just live. Shit, I think some big shift just happened. And of course, it wasn't all this crystal clear to me in that exact moment. What was clear, however, was that I had just been given a gift. Somehow, in some small way, the ground beneath me shifted a bit. Some movement happened within, and it was so subtle, like a leaf gently being lifted off the ground by a small breeze. But man, was it ever so powerful. Up to that point, I was relying on someone else to tell me how wonderful I was, for someone else to tell me how much I was needed and valued. Every relationship I went into wasn't about them. Rather, it was about how they would make me feel. And it's hard to admit that. It's hard to be that honest with yourself. But within that raw honesty and discovery lay the ability to transform that and then find the love I was actually seeking within. Fuel up. On the road to self-love. If you're finding yourself in relationships wishing that they would say something else, do something else, or be someone else, perhaps what you're seeking is only something that you can give yourself. No person, no thing, no goal achieved will ever make you feel a certain way about yourself until you do. Stop waiting for others to tell you how great you are. Believe it for yourself and about yourself. That quote was by Iyanla Vanzant. Psst, go easy on yourself. Hey Bill, nice to see you. So again, Love Yourself Happy, guys, available on Kindle right now for 99 cents or in paperback. And if you do get a book, paperback, and you want it signed, I'm like saying with this first time, I haven't even thought this through. I was like, you could send it to me, but that wouldn't work. So we could just grab it on paperback. And then when I had to cancel a bunch of my tour dates this year, my book signings, so hopefully I'll be able to meet you in your city. Yes, Sujata, we need to keep saying I'm good enough. We have to tell ourselves that the most. Absolutely. And the reason why I got emotional for you guys, because I have gotten to the place in my life quite some years ago where I was finally able to just sit in my skin, to be able to feel myself and look at myself and understand that it didn't matter what I love you, but it didn't matter what you said or what you thought, because like I said in there, at the end of the day, if I was looking in the mirror and I didn't feel all the things that people were saying or what they thought about me, then none of that meant anything. So I had to begin the work on myself. And that's why I get emotional, because to watch our own journeys. And that's what I wanted to talk to you today about, which is how to stay grounded and connected to your strength. So during these times, it's super easy to get taken by our fears with all of the things that we're hearing every day, with the truth and the reality of what is happening. And we all have our own different coping mechanisms. And I'm just going to say it. We all do. There is a conspiracy theorist, which is a way of feeling like you're in control by knowing what the answer is and who's really doing it. And then we have the spiritual bypassers, the one who don't see anything wrong. And, I'm not calling people out, but my point. And then there's the ones who collect all of the data and all the information, and that makes them feel like we all just have our own ways to cope through trauma, to cope through fearful things. And so in this coping, what often happens is that we can get super locked into that place. And when we do that, we can forget our own centering, we can forget our own grounding, and we can get lost. We can get lost in not knowing what our own strength was. And yesterday, and I invite you to check out my page, I put a video yesterday talking about my own personal trauma of being sexually abused and the trauma of my parents' divorce and, the guilt and all that stuff that happened that I write about in the book. And I realized that my personal trauma has prepared me for the trauma that's happening in the world right now. And for one of the first times, I was able to be super grateful for it. And what I realized is that the reason why I'm able to get through this is because I have learned how to trust myself. So that means that no matter what's going on out there, in the eye of the storm, I can stand strong and grounded and with my feet my heels dug into the earth. And what I want to encourage you guys to do is, if you are someone that is sitting in fear, is that I want you to remember all of the things that you have overcome, all of the things that you thought that in that moment that you would never get through. And now you're on the other side of it. I want you to put yourself back in that position and remember what that feeling was of, I will never be able to do this. I will never be able to take a breath again. I will never be able to get over him or get past this or anything. And now not only have you gotten through it, but I guarantee you that you're a better person because of it. So if you need to, sit down and write a list of all the things that you've overcome and where you are now. If you need to, sit down and write a list of your strengths, of all of your qualities, all of the beautiful things about you, all of the ways that you show up in the world. Be reconnected and reminded back to yourself and who you really are. It is okay to be afraid. It is okay to not know. None of us know what the next moment will bring, and that uncertainty can bring up a shitload of feelings. And so in order to be able to stay connected and centered and grounded, is that you want to stay connected and centered and grounded to yourself. And so that's just one of the tips that I am giving, is to write it down, have a list. I wrote down here, recall all the shit you've overcome. And just be reminded of that. Hey, Bill. Thank you. Oh, Carrie, I'm glad. Thank you. Thank you for grabbing that from Amazon. Also something else that I was going to tell you guys is currently I have a 12-week program based on Love Yourself Happy. So if you are looking for support and guidance, I go through some of the aspects of that book. I'm not here to sell a coaching program. If you can do it, great. I think it doesn't matter how you support yourself, through me, through someone else, through free groups, but I just really encourage you to show up for you. You need yourself. You need others right now. So for those of you who are like strong people and have learned to become independent, turn to others. The end of every day, because John knows, my fiance knows, and who I am, I've always been one that can just, stand in it and take it on the chin. And even when I cry and I'm upset, I could still stand in it. But at the end, every day, when I climb into bed at night, I say to him, can I get a hug? And I ask for that, because not always that I need it in my mind, but I know that my soul needs it. And so I ask for it, because if I continue to plow through this on my own, there will come a breaking point. So I'm just encouraging you and inviting you to reach out, even if it feels uncomfortable. So Go to my website, connect, have a session with me. Go talk to your best friend on the phone, talk to your partner, whatever it is, just make sure that you are supported through this. Bill says, I learned how to deal with my issues of self-worth by looking in the mirror. I started with, I like you. It took a while, but now I love that guy. I see, oh, I love that. Self-talk and mirror talk is one of the most powerful things that we can do. It's something that I do every single day for my regulars here for Storytime. I share with you all the time that I start my day with first, thank you. I love you. How are you feeling today? When I'm brushing my teeth, we walk over, we're in front of the mirror, and then I could say, I got you, we got this. In the shower, I'm giving myself my hugs. I realize how much I'm talking right now, so I'm going to get ready to end this right now. And unless anybody wants to share anything with me, I wrote down what's been your biggest challenge about this entire thing, and then what have you discovered about yourself during this so far. So whatever you want to share or not share while you're writing or just being here, I'm going to invite you for our daily hug. Hey, Tina, nice to see you. Oh, and Chong, you're here too. Love you guys. This is what I share about. I'm very up and down, and this emotion is like, community is so important. We need each other right now. So I just love when I see you guys here. The last thing that I'm going to ask, and then we're going to do our group hug. Sounds so cheesy. Guys, it's time for our group hug. But I'm going to ask you that if this brought a smile to your face, if there's anything that inspired you, if there's anything, hit share on this. Please share this with somebody in your community, with your network. Someone may need to hear something. And time for our hug. So take your dominant hand. You're going to put that right under your armpit, right back here, because that's really going to grasp well. And then you're going to take your other hand, and you're going to put that right across your shoulder right here. So we've got a good grip right now. Take your head and put it on your top hand. Close your eyes and squeeze. This always makes me laugh because when people come into this live or they catch us halfway, they're like, what in the world? But man, if you really take that, it feels dang good. So join me with self-hugs every day. I do this, well, I was doing it twice a day, and now I'm probably doing it like 5 times a day. And then at the end of the day, I get my hug. So I love you guys. Thank you for joining me. Don't forget to grab the book on Amazon. If you're looking for more support as a coaching session, please reach out to me. By the way, if you're a business and you are needing to reconnect back with your customer base, I know this sounds all businessy, but I really thought about this, and I was thinking that there's going to be a lot of businesses right now that aren't making money at this time, but you can still connect with your customers and build up a loyalty with them. So if you're interested in having story time or coffee time with them and let's talk. I've been connecting with a couple of businesses, so just let me know about that. I love you guys. Oh, good. Ask for your husband at 3 o'clock in the morning. I don't know if he's going to appreciate asking for the hug. All right. I love you. And you guys have a most beautiful Monday. I will see you tomorrow. I changed the time to noon Eastern last week, but this week it's raining here in Los Angeles, and so I can't take a walk or anything. So I'm going to be doing it at this time every day this week. So that's 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Love you all so much. Reach out to me at ShariAlyse.com. Take good care of yourselves. And remember, connect with who you are. Bye, guys.